Good Will Hunting is an American film released in 1997. The story takes place in Boston, a city in the United States. It is about a young man with a very special brain. He is a genius in mathematics, but his life is very hard. He has deep emotional problems. His past has left him with many wounds. He meets several people. These people see his talent. They also see his inner pain. They help him find direction in life. The story explores friendship, love, and healing from past hurts. Will Hunting is a young man in his early 20s. He lives alone in a small, poor apartment in South Boston. South Boston is a working-class neighborhood. Many people there are not rich. They work hard jobs. They do not go to college. Will fits in with these people. He talks like them. He dresses like them. He acts like them. Will works as a janitor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. People call it MIT for short. MIT is a famous university for science and math. Many smart students go there. Will cleans floors. He empties trash cans. He washes the blackboards. He does this work at night. No one pays attention to him. He is just part of the building. No one knows he is different. Will has friends from his neighborhood. His best friend is Chucky Sullivan. Chucky and their other friends are also working-class men. They spend their free time together. They drink beer. They talk about sports and girls. Sometimes they get into fights with other people. Will is very loyal to his friends. He would do anything for them. They are like a family to him. Will does not have a real family. He grew up in different foster homes. A foster home is a house where other adults take care of a child. For Will, these homes were not safe. Some adults beat him. Some adults ignored him. He moved from one home to another. No one wanted to keep him for long. He was alone. This left deep emotional scars. He learned not to trust people. He learned that if you get close to someone, they will hurt you. One day at MIT, something important happens. A professor puts a hard math problem on a blackboard in a hallway. The problem is for the students. It is very difficult. The professor is a famous mathematician. His name is Gerald Lambeau. He says that if a student solves the problem, the student will become famous. Many students try to solve it. They work for hours. They use many pages of paper. No one can solve it. At night, when the hallway is empty, Will cleans the floors. He looks at the blackboard. He looks at the problem. He thinks for a moment. Math is easy for him. He understands numbers like other people understand their own names. He picks up a piece of chalk. He writes the correct answer on the blackboard. Then he walks away. He does this secretly. No one sees him. The next day, Professor Lambeau sees the answer. He is surprised and happy. The answer is perfect. It is exactly right. He wants to meet the person who solved the problem. But no one knows who wrote it. The professor thinks it is one of his students. He puts a new problem on the blackboard. This problem is even harder. He has worked on it for 2 years. He waits to see who will solve it. Will sees the new problem. He looks at it for a few days. Then, again, he solves it at night. He writes the answer quickly. But this time, Professor Lambeau is watching from far away. He sees Will write the answer. He sees Will's face. Then he sees Will run away. The professor follows Will. He finds out that Will is just a janitor. He cannot believe it. A janitor who can solve the hardest math problems. It seems impossible, but it is true. Professor Lambeau is very excited about Will's talent. He thinks Will is a once-in-a-lifetime genius. He wants to help Will use his brain. He wants Will to become a great mathematician. But Will is not interested. He does not want to be a math student. He does not want to study. He likes his simple life as a janitor. He likes his friends. He does not want to change. Around the same time, Will gets into trouble. He gets into a fight with some people from his past. He also fights with a police officer. The police arrest Will. He goes to court. The judge wants to send Will to jail. Will might go to prison for a long time. Professor Lambeau speaks to the judge. He makes a deal. He says Will is a special person. He says Will has a great mind. He asks the judge to let Will stay out of jail. The judge agrees. But there are conditions. Will must do 2 things. First, he must study math with Professor Lambeau. He must meet with him every week. Second, he must see a therapist. He must talk about his feelings and his past. He must try to get better. Will agrees to these conditions. He does not want to go to jail, but he does not like therapists. He thinks they are stupid. He is very smart. He reads many books. He knows about psychology. Psychology is the study of the mind. When he meets a therapist, he plays games. He makes jokes. He says clever things to make the therapist angry. He shows them that he is smarter than they are. The first few therapists leave. They do not want to work with Will. Professor Lambeau is worried. He does not know what to do. Then he thinks about his old college roommate. His name is Sean McGuire. Sean is not a math professor. Sean teaches psychology at a small community college. A community college is a smaller, simpler school. Sean was a good friend to Lambeau. But they are very different people. Lambeau is serious. He only cares about success and fame. Sean is more relaxed. He cares about people's feelings. He cares about life, not just work. Lambeau asks Sean to help Will. Sean is not sure at first. He knows Will is very smart. He also knows Will is very angry. He has heard about Will's behavior with other therapists. But he agrees to meet Will. He thinks he might be able to help. Will meets Sean in Sean's small office at the community college. The room has many books. There is a comfortable chair. There is a desk. On the wall, there is a painting. The painting shows a man alone in a small boat. The ocean around him is big and stormy. The sky is dark. The man looks small and lost. At first, Will acts the same way he acted with the other therapists. He looks at the painting. He says clever things about it. He tries to show he is smarter than Sean. He reads a book from Sean's shelf. He knows the writer. He makes fun of Sean's choices in life. He thinks Sean is just another therapist he can beat. Then Will notices something. He sees a picture on Sean's desk. It is a picture of a woman. Will guesses that this woman is Sean's wife. He is correct. Then Will guesses that she is dead or that she left Sean. He is also correct. Will uses his intelligence to hurt people. He says something very cruel about Sean's wife. He does it to feel powerful. He does it to push Sean away. Sean gets very angry. This is different. The other therapist just quit. Sean shows real emotion. He stands up. He puts his hand on Will's throat. He pushes Will against the wall. He says, "If you ever speak about my wife again, I will kill you." Will is surprised. No one has ever reacted like this. Sean shows that he is a real person with real feelings. Sean leaves the room. Will sits alone. The next week, they meet again. It is a beautiful sunny day. They do not meet in the office. They sit on a bench in a park in Boston. There is a pond. There are ducks swimming. The park is quiet and peaceful. Sean talks to Will. He does not use big words. He does not try to be a doctor. He talks like a normal person. He tells Will that Will is very smart. But being smart is not everything. Sean tells Will something important. He says, "You have read many books. You can tell me about art, history, or war. But you have never seen the real things. You have never been to a beautiful city at night. You have never held the hand of a dying person. You have never been in love. You know facts, but you do not know life. You are a child who knows only what books tell you." Wilson's, he does not make any jokes. He is quiet. No one has ever talked to him like this. Sean is not trying to fix Will. Sean is trying to be honest with him. Sean is trying to show him that there is more to life than being smart. Will still spends time with his friends. They go to bars. They drink beer. They have fun. But something is changing inside Will. He is thinking about what Sean said. One day, Will meets a girl in a bar. Her name is Skylar. Skylar is a student at Harvard. Harvard is another famous university just across the river from MIT. She is smart and kind. She is also rich. Her father is a doctor. She has a beautiful smile. Will likes her immediately. For the first time in his life, he wants to be close to someone. Skylar likes Will, too. She thinks he is interesting and funny. She does not know he is a genius. She just likes him for who he is. They start to date. They spend time together. They go for walks. They talk for hours. Will is happy, but he is also scared. Will tells Skylar he has many brothers. This is a lie. He is afraid to tell her the truth about his past. He is afraid she will not like him if she knows he was an orphan. An orphan is a child without parents. He is afraid she will see him as broken. So he lies. One night, Skylar tells Will she loves him. This should be a happy moment. But Will is scared. He does not know how to accept love. His past taught him that love leads to pain. So he pushes her away. He says cruel things to her. He lies and says he does not love her. He tells her he does not need her. Skylar is very hurt. She cries. Will leaves her. He goes back to his small apartment. He sits alone. Why does Will do this? Sean helps us understand. In one therapy session, Sean asks Will about his past. He asks if Will was hurt as a child. Will does not want to talk. He changes the subject. But Sean is patient. He waits. Slowly, Will tells the truth. He tells Sean about the adults who beat him. He says the people who were supposed to care for him hurt him. He was just a child. He was afraid. He was alone. No one protected him. Sean looks at Will. He does not feel sorry for him. He does not give him advice. He simply says, "It is not your fault." Will says, "I know." But he does not believe it. Sean says it again. "It is not your fault." Will says, "I know." Sean keeps saying it. "It is not your fault." Finally, Will understands. For many years, he thought the abuse was his fault. He thought he deserved it. He thought he was bad. That is why he pushed people away. He did not want to be hurt again. He hurt people first so they could not hurt him. Now he understands. The abuse was not his fault. He was just a child. He breaks down. He cries. Sean holds him. This is the moment everything changes. Will also has his friends. Chucky, his best friend, is not a genius. He works in construction. He builds things. He lives a simple life. One day, Chucky and Will are drinking beer. They are standing outside. Chucky tells Will something very important. Chucky says, "Look, you are sitting on a winning lottery ticket. You have a gift, but you are too scared to use it. You stay here with us because you feel safe. But you are not like us. I work hard every day. I will probably work here for the rest of my life. But you have a chance to do something great. If you are still here when you are 50 years old, I will be angry. You owe it to yourself to leave." Chucky says that his happiest day will be when Will is gone. He does not say this to be mean. He says it because he loves Will. He wants Will to have a better life. That is real friendship. Will is surprised. He thought his friends needed him. He thought he was helping them by staying. Now he understands. They love him enough to let him go. Professor Lambo wants Will to take a job. The job is with a government agency. It is a high-level math job. Will would solve hard problems for the government. He would make a lot of money. Many people would want this job. But Will is not sure. He wants to stay in Boston. He wants to be with his friends. He wants to find Skylar. Skylar has moved to California. She is studying at a university there. She is far away. Will thinks about her. He thinks about his life. He thinks about Sean's words. He thinks about Chucky's words. He must make a choice. In the last part, Will makes a decision. He does not take the government job. He tells Professor Lambeau. Lambeau is very angry. He does not understand. He wants Will to use his brain for great things. He thinks Will is wasting his talent. But Will says he has to find his own way. He cannot just do what other people want. He has to live his own life. Sean and Will have one final meeting. Sean tells Will that he is proud of him. Sean himself had a difficult life. His wife died of cancer. He was very sad for a long time. He thought he would never be happy again. But he learned to live. He learned to feel again. He tells Will that love is worth the risk. Even if you feel pain, it is better than feeling nothing. He tells Will to go find Skylar. Will says goodbye to Sean. They hug. Then Will goes to Chucky's house. Chucky is not there. Will leaves a short letter on the table. The letter says he will be back. Then he gets into a car. He starts driving. Where is he going? He is driving west toward California. He wants to find Skylar. He wants to tell her he is sorry. He wants to tell her he loves her. Chucky comes home later. He sees the letter. He looks at it. He understands what has happened. Will has finally left. Chucky smiles. He walks to Will's apartment. He knocks on the door. There is no answer. He knocks again. Still no answer. He looks inside the window. The apartment is empty. Chucky smiles again. His friend is finally free. The ending shows Will driving on a long road. The sun is out. The sky is blue. He is smiling. He has left his old life behind. He is moving towards something new. He is not perfect. He still has problems. He will still have bad days. But he is finally trying. He is finally living his own life. And that is enough.